Good evening. Welcome back with us here at the Legacy House. Paolo Pong, of course. Well, today we are here to taste another two dishes. One that it would be very interesting because we just started the hairy crab season, so really wanted to pair this dish with the white wine right here because we're gonna talk about Domaine Faiveley, which is a domain that I love very much. It's seen as a big domain. It is a big domain.
They're over 120 hectares.
Correct.
Big vineyard holdings.
Correct. What is interesting to know, because they are big and big, right? What is interesting with them is that they are the biggest landowner in Burgundy. So they manage a huge part of what they actually produce. Mm-hmm. So it's in terms of vineyard and work in a vineyard. So that's a very interesting fact. So we have here the Corton Charlemagne Grand Cru 2017, which was, well, to me, one of the best vintage for white in the past maybe 2 decades. I don't know if I go too far, but
I can't agree more. I love the 17.
It's a fantastic
Whites,
vintage, especially whites, fantastic vintage that came after 2016 that was very, very low in production. Mm-hmm. So there was a little bit more juice in 17. And it was an early year. I think they harvested end of August.
End of August, yes.
So early year, like we have anyway, we're getting used to it more and more in Burgundy. What is interesting, I think one of the signature of Faiveley is, to me, is the aging. Always kind of 50% new oak.
Yeah.
But I think we can talk about it while we taste.
Sure.
And the chef is here. Chef Lee is here to bring the dish, actually.
Cool. No, I mean it's a small vineyard holding in Corton Charlemagne.
Yes.
It's only 0.86.
呢個咧就係蟹粉百花釀魚肚咁佢咧就個味道咧比較鮮味，
係
同埋蟹粉咧個味道咧比較甘香嘅，
係
咁而家配酒咧，佢食落去呢個口感又比較豐富，佢魚肚咧就索咗啲蟹粉嘅味咧，一嚼落去呢個汁喺口腔度有一種好甘香、好清甜嘅味道走出嚟。
今年啲蟹粉得唔得啊？我不如一路傾啊。
Go for it.
今年啲蟹粉唔錯嘅，
今年蟹粉唔錯係嘛
？Thank you.
同埋啲蟹都好靚嘅，今年都最近啲大閘蟹啊嚟到，我哋都好多人都讚賞。
你哋一齊食啦，
多謝大家。
Looking nice.
我哋倒咗啲酒俾你試下喎。
大家試下，大家試下。
It's still got a hint of that new oak.
Yes.
But then you can sense the density of fruit just in the aromas.
That's true. I think you need 2 years, so the oak will be a bit more integrated, but it's also a sign of a Grand Cru. It never reveals itself at such an early stage, but the volume is here. I love Corton Charlemagne and Corton in general because it's almost austere. You really need to look for it. It's for me it's the complete opposite of what Meursault can be.
Right.
You know, which I love Meursault as well. It's just a different style.
So it's richer.
It's much It's very interesting.
And it's east exposure.
Yes,
Their piece of land is Alox.
Yeah.
Right in the heart of Alox. And the vineyard is quite old. It started I think the planting started in the 30s. Of course, there's a lot of replanting over the years, but it's quite old. 不如我哋一路試一路飲啊！師傅有飲酒咧，有少少顧忌咧，就係如果一有醋咧就麻煩。不過呢一個蟹粉你又冇落醋㗎係嘛？
呢個咧
有少少㗎，
好輕微嘅啫，因為咧你要有少少醋咧先嗰啲蟹咧就冇咁腥咯。
哦，係，
同埋就唔係落得好重嘅，
係
好輕微咁少少，等佢辟咗嗰個蟹嘅腥味。
咪同個酒都配襯得好好喎。
係啊。
因為始終咧呢啲即係布根地嘅白酒咧都有一定嘅酸度啊。咁嗰啲酸度咧可以幫助一啲即係比較濃嘅味嘅餸咧係可以即係 令到佢可以舒服啲食落去。
解咗個脷。
係啦係啦係啦。
因為始終咧濃味嘅嘢咧，佢係利口啲嘅。
係係。
咁啊食咗飲咗白酒之後咧，個口感比較清爽好多咯。佢可以中和到翻呢個味道出嚟咯。啊，
好啊，唔該唔該。
Very interesting, huh?
Yes.
The texture.
Yeah.
And the sauce obviously is very, it's
Very
primarily
rich,
is very
yeah.
important. Yeah. It's already changing. The oak is already a little bit more subtle, I think, and the wine kind of reveals itself a bit more. Why don't we go say hi in Burgundy?
Okay.
And then we come back for the second bottle and
Great.
second dish.
Okay,
Yeah?
brilliant.
Over to you.
Dear Paolo, dear Nicolas, I'm Erwan Faiveley, 7th generation running Domaine Faiveley here in Nuit Saint-Georges. As you know, Domaine Faiveley is a wide domain with nearly 120 hectares of vineyards, including many Grands Crus, Premier Crus and village, going through Gevrey-Chambertin until Mercurey in the south. Mostly Pinot Noir, a little bit of Chardonnay. As you know, we are putting this program together with Altaïa, Rosewood and Faiveley. I hope it will be a great success. I hope also you are well and safe. Those past few months in Hong Kong has been tough. In France it was not easy neither. So I hope you're well. I wish you to drink a lot of Burgundies and that we will get together very soon. Bye bye.
All right, we're back at the Legacy House with Paolo Pong and Chef Lee and Mike that is serving the next wine, and we're going to talk about the Corton Grand Cru Clos des Cortons Faiveley 2015.
Very vintage.
Yes, great vintage and a tiny plot there.
Yeah.
It's one of the only monopoly for a Grand Cru. The other one being Romanée Conti, you know. So 100% of the same owner on this parcel.
Yeah.
Also facing east and also on Mars, but with an iron that is a little bit more elevated than on a white parcel. So it's a more ferruginous marl soil, which obviously is interesting for Pinots.
Sure. I mean, the family had it since 1874, so it's a historical vineyard, and they've had it as a monopole ever since. It's very special because they managed to register it under the name Clos des Cortons Faiveley,
yes,
with the family name, and there aren't that many of those.
No.
So even the likes of Clos de Tard or other Grand Cru does not have the family name attached to this registration. So, I mean, it's a very special vineyard that they own, and it's bigger than the Corton Charlemagne holding. So it's about 2.7, and again with quite old vines going back to the 30s. And 15 is a fabulous vintage.
It's a fantastic wine. You can really feel the influence of 15 here. It has a richer texture, ripe notes, but the 15s are also getting slightly more elegant lately, I think.
Yeah.
So you still have the Corton and the Burgundy kind of tram, but with a richer structure that 15 gives. It's very interesting. And Chef Lee prepared the roasted pigeon to go with this Corton Faiveley.
呢隻乳鴿咧就係我哋取用咗12日嘅乳鴿嚟嘅。
12日。
係啊，因為佢個肉質咧比較嫩滑啦，骨比較脆同埋軟身。我哋就取用炸嘅方式咧，去令到佢個皮都香口嘅，成隻乳鴿香口嘅，同隻紅酒襯埋一齊咧，帶起嘅濃啲隻紅酒個濃香味就會走翻出嚟嘅。
其實有冇話幾多日先至係最好咧？即係有啲人聽講係唔知10日，有啲係15日，咁你點樣揀12日嘅咧？其實
12日啦，我哋第一個睇佢個 size 啦，嘅大細啦，同埋睇佢個交嚟睇佢個皮啊夠唔夠，即係咪好鞋身、好老身啊？唔該晒，多謝講得。咁啊，我哋就去判斷佢咯。
咁有啲咩即係秘製嘅方法咧？即係有啲醃啲咩嘢先至去炸嘅咧？通常
其實我哋個做法咧就係用啲白滷水就去 浸咗佢先。就我哋採用咧就係就乳鴿咧翻嚟咧就係生浸嘅，即係唔會拖水地乳鴿洗乾淨佢攞滷水度浸咧。點解要生浸呢個方式去做咧？因為佢能夠令到佢乳鴿嘅肉汁能夠保存到落去。就咁樣變咗佢有一種白滷水嘅藥材嘅香味，又同埋啲紅酒帶少礦物質嘅味道呢就
係好啊好啊。Let's give it a try.
Let's go.
We better use our hands.
I think it tastes better with the hands, right? Yeah, for sure.
Pigeon and red burgundy is always a good match.
It's a classic for me.
Yeah.
And the thing that is interesting is that it's a classic here in Hong Kong, but it's also a classic back home in France.
Yeah.
Roasted pigeon or pigeon in general, we have thousands of different recipes. But back then, when I was working fine dinings, you know, doing like serving roasted pigeons with cherry sauce, you know, or quite reduced, you know, like Burgundy will always be the first pick. And in Hong Kong, it's the same. People really enjoy Burgundies with this flavor of the pigeon and texture. The second pick would be Nebbiolo, probably from Piemonte, but that's another topic. But Burgundy is always the first pick for pigeon. Yeah. Very nice. 15 is showing very well. Well.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paulo. See you soon.
Bye.